Kingsbridge. So we set off.
Welcome back
with
to
the blessing
Pillars
of
of the Earth.
Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. You must be thinking, how can he be so sure? In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles.
Hey! Shh!
Now, brothers and sisters, I have heard
What is in this book
that
will
life
not help
has
me more
not
than the
been
answers I can
kind
find in
to
my
Kingsbridge,
own heart.
but it is in places like these and along the road.
Brother Reynold. I've heard of a Reynold from the coast. A scheming drunkard who lives as a traveling monk.
You think that's him?
Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. I don't trust him either way.
Over the sea and all the way to Kingsbridge.
Jonathan?
They're about to show the miracle. Look.
Devout Christians have given
You don't
money
need to be here.
for the building of
If
the
it's
church
too loud
of the
for you.
Weeping Madonna. This church of Kingsbridge. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters.
Please, everyone.
Shh! We want to listen to his story.
The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you. You must wonder, why was Kingsbridge chosen to be the home of the Holy Virgin? She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge." So we
I
set off
am Philip.
with the blessing
Who are
of
you, young man?
Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters.
Why are you hiding?
The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you.
That's not fit for a shrine.
You must wonder, why was Kingsbridge chosen to be the home
Nothing
of the
sacred
Holy
about
Virgin?
this.
She said, "You shall build me a new..." So we set off with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. You heard me correct. Can you feel it? Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and never stopped believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada.
All of you have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada.
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid.
Jack. Aliena.
Philip.
But this is...
A miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well, Philip, do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But... It's been almost 3 years since I last saw you, Jack. Where on earth did you find him?
I'd almost given up looking for him. Then Tommy found him.
And you decided to come back.
Well, this is our home, after all.
Then what on earth is all this? This miracle?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral, but to me it looks like about £100. You know, that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
And the Madonna will stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena, you came back.
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you. And the little one.
Tommy.
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Richard shows up every now and then. And Ellen returned to the forest.
We need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry. She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
The miracle.
Her eyes are wet.
Her eyes.
Look at her. Heaven.
They're shining.
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping? She's mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before, and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
And still, you put your trust into a group of random strangers to make things better. Philip, why in God's name have you stood by and let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this?
People need hope, and these travelers are giving them hope. Yes, it is a deception, but with good intentions. Mary speaks again. Is that not a true miracle?
You fell for them. You really did. And now you joyfully take part in their deceptions. I'm warning you. I cannot support a prior who tolerates heresy.
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now, I make mine. I resign. I'm leaving the Priory.
You got so big, Tommy. And you're just as shy as your father was.
Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something.
Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now. He always wanted that.
Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
But... really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No.
The king's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes, but I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
Sang sweeter than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never.
No! No!
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waileran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I. I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did. Your houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret. The people they killed will return to haunt them. I promised them.
We welcome our new prior, Remigius. He helped to recover the bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Wailer and by God.
Jack, what are you doing here?
My father died by your hands, Waileran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here.
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Oh, preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty. England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waileran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shiring. Many had died. The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret. And everything changed.
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all. I know, you did not plan the cathedral to be that high. But I reinforced the walls, like in Saint Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it? No. I don't want to break more stones loose. One day, people will fly, like birds, sailing on the wind. Rashid told me. The roof looks all right. The vaulting is cracked. This could be a problem. I'm not done here yet. If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is. All right. One more time. Be easier without this sand everywhere. If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom, what would you have done now? When we erected the eastern wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it. But the cause could have been the same in both cases. The crypt! Huh? Yes, Tom. You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight before. That's it! The problem must be down there.
They were enraged. Bishop Henry thinks that the Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so, too. I would be honored if he read my book.
Philip, I really am worried about you.
There is no need for you to worry, Jonathan. It is just a book.
The problem is that the people love your sermons and what you wrote, even though most of them can't read. Your book is being copied in priories all over England.
Is that not a good thing, if our message gives people hope?
In desperate times, hope can be a powerful force.
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took that power from them.
Huh? Do you?
The Divine Soul, book written by Philip in 1148. In his text, Philip suggests that we all carry a godly spark within us because God created man. And while sometimes it may seem as if God has abandoned us, God is indeed always closer to us than anything else, because our soul is a divine nature. This means that man does not have to wait for salvation from the outside, but that we can all change the world around us ourselves. We can plant a seed and God in turn will make it grow. Philip's message of hope is heard in all of England and even other parts of Europe. The church is highly critical of the text. In his first book, Philip had only criticized fake miracles. Now he seems to claim that as all men are equally divine, members of the clergy are not closer to God's glory than any other man.
Jack!
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there.
You shouldn't be up there risking your life. You should be with your children. Sally and Tommy have been asking for their parents all morning.
Jack and Aliena's family, 1154. After they promised to Valoran to keep Kingsbridge protected, Richard and Jack have spent much time fortifying the town. Since then, William Hamley has not dared to attack the town again. Aliena, who has continued her wool business, trades mostly outside of Shiring. Most of the fleece she is trading is produced in Kingsbridge, where Jack erected 2 felting mills. Aliena and Jack have 2 children now. Tommy is already 12 years old, and his little sister Sally is 9. Martha looks after both of them while Jack and Aliena are working. Some believe that Martha and Richard are in love, but if that was true, they are keeping their secret well guarded.
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the fleece fair. She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get worse.
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all right.
I need to go. I think I know why the east wall is unstable.
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt. I should hurry before it's too late.
I don't like the look of that. I don't like it one bit.